The reason I want to talk about A to B and then B to C, we are not the A to B weight loss coaching service. We are the B to C. We are the next step. And we fuse those two together so that we know exactly whatever fucking letter of the alphabet you want to get to. We make sure that all of that is covered so that when we step away, you know how to do that. Everybody, welcome back to my first podcast after the holidays. How was it? All right, I'll answer that one. It was amazing. It was good. Had 2 weeks off. My God, what did I do? Had 2 weeks off. God, I've got to mute everything now. Forgot what it's like at work. Crazy lifestyle. Had 2 weeks off. Went to Sydney. It went beyond quickly. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen me say it, but kudos to you if you have kids during school holidays. Fuck that. Thankfully in Sydney, it wasn't school holidays as of yet. What was it? They have school holidays like a week after us. But in Melbourne, my God, that was beyond fucking terrible. I don't want to do that. And it just confirms that I am not yet ready to have kids, because I was ready to launch some kids into the stratosphere. So yeah, that was just good to be able to confirm that little tidbit thing for me. So that was fun. But anywho, I digress. The 2 weeks off that I had, it went beyond quick because it was something that was always going on. The first Monday that I had off, actually, you know what? Let's start from the Friday. The Friday that I technically finished work on, the Friday I had D&D, so that was fun. That was amazing. Had the D&D on the Friday. Then the Saturday we drove up towards Geelong or something. It was like a 2.5 hour drive to be able to celebrate one of my two best mates' birthdays. It was a joint one. That was a lot of fun. Then on the Sunday we drove back, and then I had D&D on that Sunday night. The Monday I was preparing to get ready for the trip to Sydney. And we were going to see the Moulin Rouge, because the tickets were sold out here in Melbourne, and it was a part of Beth's birthday present to be able to go see that. So that's what we got prepared for. The Monday was fun because that was just preparing for everything. The Tuesday, we were on the plane and getting there and settled in, and we just walked around everywhere. And we found these noodles that were like fucking next level. I think they're called like, I'm going to say this wrong. It's B-I-A-N-G twice. So it's like byung noodles. And there's one here in Melbourne, and it was the top tier shit. I want those noodles all the goddamn time. So we did that on the first day. Wednesday was Moulin Rouge. We were only there for 2 days. Love the Moulin Rouge. That was like the best musical theatre piece thing that I've seen in I don't even know how long. I wasn't expecting to, well, in however long. I think I've seen like 2, so doesn't exactly have high competition, but absolutely loved it. And the women that were dancing, holy shit, that was physically impossible. What 80% of them did. That was just ridiculous. So kudos to them. I literally watched Beth's jaw drop, like turn her head, and she was like, what the fuck? How did they do that? So we were as pressed as each other. Then came back on the Thursday. Fantastic. Friday. What was the Friday when we came back? Friday was D&D again, because hell yeah. No, Friday was preparing for the engagement party. Huzzah. So we were driving around town and all over the place to be able to pick up flowers and boards and this and that and all that fun stuff to be able to get ready for the Saturday, which was the engagement party. Saturday, obviously, spoiler alert, it was the engagement party. That was amazing. It was good to be able to finally have that with everyone there. 70% of people, I reckon, thought it was going to be a surprise wedding, so I decided to fuck with them. Got on the microphone, did my speeches. Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Beth's dad did one, then Beth did one, then she handed it to me, and I was like, hey, thank you all for coming. Everybody's already said it, and I know like 70% of you said that this was going to be a surprise wedding, and I let that hang there for a second and like looked around, and everyone was like, yeah. And then Beth was wearing all white, which worked in my favor for hijinks. So I said, well, with that announcement and my beautiful fiance next to me dressed in all white, we do have a small announcement to make. And then it was like, oh my gosh, like whispers everywhere. And I was like, and that announcement is that it is just an engagement party, so everyone that guessed it was a surprise wedding is wrong. So suck it, let's go party and this and that and whatever. Got him. That'll teach you for guessing stuff. Losers. And I know that there's a few clients that were actually there, or ex-clients as well that were there. So if you're listening to this, suck it good. So what are you doing, Levi? It's been all cute and stuff. So yeah, that was the first week, and it went by that quickly. And then the rest of the week was honestly catching up on sleep, doing a little bit of work. I know, please don't backhand me if you are a current client that said, hey, you need to actually take time off work. Don't tell me how to live. But I had to do some stuff for end of the financial year, order a lot of welcome packs, merchandise. This place is about to become a fucking sweatshop. The amount of merchandise that is coming this way, so that I can send it out to people. It's going to take exactly 12 hot minutes to get all this welcome pack stuff out. I'm going to have to make a fucking weekend out of it. Make sure everybody gets what they're getting. But anyway, digressing. So yeah, that's a quick 5 minutes and 45-second catch up on everything that has been happening during the holidays. So first off, you're welcome. Secondly, I'm just beyond excited for what is coming to the Fitness Genie. I swear to God, I'll get into what this podcast is actually about in a minute. But just to catch you all up on stuff, a lot has been happening. We spoke to Felicia for the win on TikTok. If you don't know her, look her up. Amazing. I spoke to her for an hour during the holidays, just for like TikTok growth and what's going on and what can we do. How can we change strategies? How did she grow her following? How can we grow ours? That was a lot of fun to be able to talk to someone that just had an insane amount of knowledge on the concept of growing TikTok and how the algorithm works and user interfaces, and it was ridiculous. I absolutely loved all of it. So that was fun. New TikTok strategies coming at you. You probably won't notice them. But then again, you might. It's just a few subtle changes here and there. We're going to try and upload at least 3 times a day with a few pillars and stuff like that. Considering I normally upload about 12, it's not going to be that difficult. But it is just a few subtle hints here and there. So maybe you pick them up, maybe you don't. Who knows? But anyway, so that was a lot of fun. I've also obviously still continuing with my business coach, but then I've also applied for /bought/am doing, not applied for, a different business mentorship through, Melbourne Strength Culture, Jamie Smith, because why the fuck not? Incredible dude. I've been following him. His partner currently was my ex-performance coach way back in the day. Fun fact for you. And yeah, he's just built a hell of a podcast first off, but then also an amazing culture around his gym and just business in general. Something that I would like to get to be able to have that many people working with me, and just that whole sort of core concept as a business as a whole. It's a hell of a lot of fun to be able to think about, like, that's what's in store for us. And I can run business pretty well by myself. But as I've figured out, if I have like the maximum amount of income that I can have, which is about $35,000 a month, if I do that by myself, that is 5 days a week of coaching calls and then having to get people in and do all the sales calls and everything by myself. And it's just very all-consuming. And yes, the money is good, but I've actually scaled things down a little bit so that I can slow down so that I can go further. Because I saw myself burning out the exact same way that I did where I lost my 2 previous businesses. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just make this next 6 months about expanding personally and business-wise so that I can be the best leader that I possibly can and the best boss that I possibly can for the amount of employees that are going to be coming on. We are already hiring a new coach that is coming on that is going to work alongside myself and Lindsay. So if you are interested or you know someone that is interested, for the love of God, send their resume through to contact@thefitnessgenie.com.au. We are looking for someone that does have experience in women's health, because we do need someone that has the experience so that they can just plug in straight away into our system. But then from there, when we get a decent baseline of people or coaches working for us that know what they're doing, they can act as the mentors as well as myself for people coming on that maybe don't have that experience, so that we can give back to, new coaches to the industry. But anyway, a whole lot of fun shit happening in this next 6 months, and I'm excited to see exactly where it is going to go. Personal development, business development, clients are fucking killing it. I don't know how. Every time I go away on holidays or take time off, they seem to just do extremely well. And I don't know if that's a testament to our program and services being set up the way that they are so that people can go succeed by themselves, or whether people just don't like me. So they're just like, fuck you, Trav, we're going to get better results without you than we are with you. So suck a fat one. And, I suppose, whatever, as long as you're getting results, joke's on you, losers. Changing your lives for the better. Fucking idiots. So, it's been fun taking the 2 weeks off to be able to rest and recover and recuperate and figure out what is the direction of the Fitness Genie for the rest of this year, or I suppose the first half of the financial year for 2022. Yes, there we go. Haha! And I also had a birthday during the holidays as well. Not just a birthday, I had my birthday. And I'm now a particular age. I'm now 28. I had to think about that one then. I had to buy some fucking time. I am now 28, which means I am 4 years away from where I suspected my prime was going to be, business-wise, fucking 3 years ago. I was like, you know what? No idea what it is, but 32, that's where I'm going to hit my peak in business. Which is also very upsetting if you think about it, considering at 32, I would have been in business for... what is 2022, started this in 2017, so that'll be 5 plus 4, 9. That'll be 9 years in business, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hit my peak then. Ha! Good one. Fucking idiot. But yeah, I don't know why. I'm just really excited to be 32. It's my favorite number, so I think that's why subconsciously I'm like, 32 is where I'm going to hit my peak. That's where the prime is. But 32 is my favorite number, so fun fact for all y'all out there. But it's just a weird thing that I think I'm not going to be good or really good at what I do until I hit my 30s. That's where a lot of people hit their stride, and that's where they sort of reevaluate a lot of things. From what I've seen from leaders in the industry, when they're in their early 30s, that's where they do some of their best work, setting up their business and growing it and expanding and doing everything that they normally do. That's where they do a lot of their best work, at least from what I've seen anyway. There obviously are exceptions to that because it's not a rule or anything. It's just what I've observed. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. I know some of you are like, what the fuck, you're 28? How are you not 57? I know. I have the body of a 57-year-old in terms of injuries and soreness and, oh my God, my back and my neck. Yeah. For those of you who didn't know what that tune was, thank you. But anywho, I suppose this little catch-up is a beautiful segue into what we're talking about today, which is what got us from A to B will not get us from B to C. And this business chat is going to be a perfect example of what I was doing to grow my business as a personal trainer is not what is going to work for me now as an online health and mindset coach. The exact same is going to be applicable to you when it comes to your weight loss journey or your health journey. Whatever journey you're on, fantastic. Thank you for joining us on the podcast and helping us guide you through your journey on whatever one it is. Your emergency exits are located at the front. Anyway, so yeah, the reason I want to talk about this one is because it's very prevalent. That's the word I'm looking for. It's very prevalent in people that are typically coming on board to be able to say, hey, I want to lose weight, I want to get fitter, stronger, whatever it is that they're signing up for. That's the surface level shit as to what they're signing up for. Hey, cool, amazing, we can help you do that, but what have you done in the past? And the questionnaire that we send out for health and fitness coaching is beyond redonkulous. It's, I think, like a 4-page thing of, here's everything, tell us about your life and what you're here for and what you've done in the past and that fun stuff. A lot of history and background check and context so that we know exactly what is going on, so that we don't give you something that you've just played around with for a bit in the past, but it's never worked for you for whatever unknown reason. Or known reason, so that we know to program you away from those things and towards something that is probably going to work out better for you. Let's be honest. So, the reason I want to talk about A to B and then B to C, if I simplify this for us all, A to B is normally from, and I'm going to throw arbitrary numbers out here, but the point or the moral behind the story. The moral of the story? Yeah, moral of the story. Let's go with that one. The moral of the story is whatever number that I'm about to throw out here, completely arbitrary, but it's going to be the exact same regardless of insert your number here. If I have someone that signs up and they've done yo-yo diets in the past, they've done all these crash diets, they've done all these box gyms and meal plans and HIIT classes and all this templated stuff, and they've done a booty building boot camp blaster, I don't fucking know, anything else with a B in it really. They've done all that stuff before. They've done Herbalife, they've done Isogenics, they've done fucking Healthy Mummy, which they used to be, Healthy Mummy, or whatever the fuck it is, used to be really good. They used to do, from what the Discord community has been saying as of late, they used to do what we do now, but then they got lost along the way, and now they're just selling supplements and automating their business for money, which is something I really hope that I don't do. And if I do start to do that, fucking call me on it, because that's not what I want to do. There are some courses that I want to put out that are automated, but in no fucking way do I want to be selling supplements and templated workouts and templated meal plans and shit like that. Everything that we do, I need to be one-on-one. I need to be there. I need to make sure you know what you're doing. And if I automate that, that goes out the fucking window. But anyway, so most people come on board and they say, hey, I've done all this, insert all the shit that you, the listener or watcher, now on YouTube. I'm looking up here. Oh my God, where are we? I'm looking up here because that's where the little rectangle box thing is, that's where I am. But if I look here, that's obviously where you are. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, we are now on YouTube and we are putting these up on YouTube, so you'll know exactly what's going on. I'm thinking about, should I stream these to YouTube? Make it a little bit more interactive? I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Well, maybe stream it on TikTok. Let's see how we go. But TikTok is very distracting. But anyway, I digress yet again. I digress about 12 million fucking times in a podcast episode, so if this is the first one you're listening to, sucks to be you. I would definitely listen to some other ones to get some quality context. Anywho, hey Trav, I want to sign up and lose weight. I've done all of these insert crash course yo-yo diet things in the past. Fantastic. What's the weight loss result that you're after? Well, I'm currently 100 kilos and I want to get down to about 90 kilos. Awesome. Sweet. We can definitely help you do that. We can't guarantee weight loss, but we've had people in the past that have easily done that before, and we can help you do that. What have you done in the past? Yeah, well, I've lost the weight before, but then I always end up putting it back on, and then I've done this, and then I put the weight back on. That's always the story, right? That's quite literally my entire business. That is, let's teach you how to not put the weight back on. We are the B2C coaches. I mean, everyone's a fucking B2C coach because that means business to client or business to consumer or business to customer coach. But we are not the A to B weight loss coaching service. We are the B2C. We are the next step. And we fuse those two together so that we know exactly whatever fucking letter of the alphabet you want to get to. We make sure that all of that is covered so that when we step away, you know how to do that. So Tennille is gonna fucking kill me because there's gonna be so many so's in this. And I worked so hard to be able to get rid of that, and the holidays just fucked me. Now I'm back to doing so all the goddamn time. I hope you're happy, people that told me to rest. This is your business. This is your business. Wow. My God, I nearly did it again. So, I can hear it in myself and I don't like it. A to B, right? A to B is that typical weight loss, 10 kilos of weight loss. Let's go from 100 down to, oh my God, I dropped the thing that I'm playing with, my camera lens. Because if I don't play with something in my hand, I get real fidgety. So, hey Trav, I want to go from 100 down to 90. That's A to B, right? A to B, 100 kilos down to 90, fantastic. That's where a lot of businesses and coaching services and gyms and trainers and shit like that, that's where it stops. We go from A to B, fantastic. You got to B, leave me a testimonial before and after, fantastic. We're going to market the shit out of it. Hey, if you want to look like B, all you have to do is A. You have to go from A to B with this same templated stuff that we've done for person and person and person and person again. Losing weight, I'm willing to bet 99% of people that are listening to this or watching this is that you have lost weight before. If you have set out to lose weight before, I'm willing to bet that you have been successful at it to whatever degree. If you've said that you want to lose 10 kilos and you've gotten to 5 kilos and you're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, that feels pretty good. And then you fall off the bandwagon, quote unquote there, I can guarantee you that weight loss is not your issue. It's your intrinsic motivation for why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be better? It's that why, it's that purpose, it's that purpose-driven shit inside of us that actually keeps us going outside of the I will be happy when I hit this particular number. Very disciplined people can do that. They can say, here's the numbers, logic is going to take over. If I do this plus this plus this, that will equal Y result. And very disciplined people, or very, 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 very logically driven people that don't really give a fuck about their emotions or, much of their mental health, can say, these are the numbers, this is what I'm doing because I'm disciplined, because it makes sense, right? And A to B is rather simple. Most people have done that. I'm willing to bet that you have been successful at that as well. Where the game changes, and where I've built my business, is B to C. What got you from 100 to 90 most likely won't get you from 90 to 80. And this is, of course, depending on the person and everything like that. I had a client sign up way back when, I think it was in between lockdowns actually. So 2020 or 2021, I believe. She signed up, she lost 15.4 kilos in 12 weeks, I believe. I didn't adjust her calories once. I said, hey, here is your calories and macros. I think it was about 1590. I'm going to say 1590, about 1600 calories. Monday through Friday, absolutely amazing. She would still go out on the weekends, still have a social life, still go out and drink and party and do all that fun stuff. But all we did was not, you can't have that stuff. We said Monday through Friday, I just want you to hit these as best that you can, but make sure that you're prepared for it. So essentially, just meal prepping, right? Get prepared for it. That way it's going to be a fuckload easier. So you're going to be able to just go about your day-to-day life Monday through Friday and it all be sweet. That was the simple shit, right? That's the A to B stuff. On the weekend, the big thing, I'm sort of going off path a little bit with this one, but on the weekend, it wasn't don't have all this stuff. It was, what does your typical social outing event, whatever, look like? And that's typically going out for dinner, entree, main, dessert, and then into drinks, right? And drinks were, I think it was like either wine or, no, I think it was spirit and a mixer, right? All we did for her, apart from the Monday through Friday, but on the weekend, what we did for her was, cool, pick a main that is going to be high-ish protein. Like, I don't really care if it's fucking calamari or chicken schnitzel or a steak, whatever it could be. But something that is going to be beyond satiating, that you're actually going to fucking enjoy and you're going to love and you're going to have a really good time and say, hey, I enjoyed that. That was amazing. There's going to be no like a garlic pizza to yourself, or if everyone's like, no, I don't want one, we don't have to push for it, right? Because we know that we've got that big main coming and it's that delayed gratification type of stuff that we're talking about now. So we're not having the garlic pizza and something else and dessert. We're having a big ass main that we can focus on that we know is going to be a lot of fun. Then for the drinks, have your spirit, but then have a no sugar additive to it or a mixer to it. So then that way, instead of having I'm just going to use mine as an example. Instead of having a rum and coke for about 300 calories, let's just say 300 calories, I think it is, because you've got 7 calories per gram of alcohol, and then you've also got the sugar coming in at 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates or per gram of sugar, which is, I think, about 270 or 300 calories there. If you just have the alcohol with no sugar additive, you cut that down to around about 100 calories or 120 calories. So you're having 50% less calories per drink. That adds up. Essentially, to put this simple, if you have no sugar mixes with your alcohol, that's enough calories to be able to save up for a HSP or a kebab at the end of the night, and it still be the same calories as opposed to just drinking no HSP or kebab. That's the way I justify it, because that sounds fucking amazing to me. But anywho, that's what we did for her. And I didn't adjust her calories the entire time because she was going out, social life, going over her calories, which is what I wanted. You know, you don't need to. It's also necessary for you to not be in a calorie deficit forever, which is something I'm going to touch on later in other episodes. or TikTok or Instagram if you're following us on there. Ding! So yeah, that's pretty much what we did. Didn't adjust her calories for any reason at all. Lost 15.5 kilos in 12 weeks. Stay pretty consistent with it, right? So that was A to B. She went from, obviously, her starting weight, A, to where she was at the end of the program, B. Amazing. We didn't make any changes or adjustments or anything like that. B to C, though, was what we did not cover as much. Because in the A to B, and this is why I've sort of dug myself into a little bit of a podcast hole here, but from A to B, we were working on the stuff that was go do your workouts and nutrition and shit like that. And instead of leaving it there to say, how's your nutrition? Are you sticking to this 100% consistently? Are you doing that and making sure the numbers were correct? While she was doing the numbers, we were focusing on the question of, okay, cool, how sustainable is this for the end of the program? Is there anything popping up during this week that you think is going to influence when we finish? Everything had that question of the B to C type of question, which is when you finish this program, regardless of however much weight you lose, how will you lose? That was an accent slip on that one. From A to B, however much weight it is that you lose, how are you going to be able to sustain this lifestyle and keep up this amount of shit from B to C? How do you do that, right? And the big thing that we went through was while A to B is going on, how do we sort of ask ourselves the question or develop the lifestyle and habits and behaviors and thought patterns and belief systems and all that fun stuff that I talk about. In A to B, how do we make that applicable from B to C? And then that's what we did. And what got her from A to B, which was, I can't even remember the numbers, but minus the 15 kilos, how do we continue to do that? We answered that question of B to C by working on the lifestyle factors that went into the 15 kilo weight loss behind this. She was now going to the gym. She was now having, when she did have her social events, she was having overall less calories because of the selections that she was making. She was making better selections because she didn't feel like she needed it anymore. So those behind the scenes mental aspects were driving the question of B to C. What do we do when this is over? And the reason that this, or I'm going to sort of spoil this by this podcast episode doesn't have a particular ending or a solution for you, unfortunately, because it is highly contextual, right? If someone wants to go from 150 kilos down to 100 kilos, they're more than likely that's going to be their A to B, right? And it is always an A to B of, I'm doing this current thing, and when it stops working, that's where we go, cool, is everything still consistent? Are you still doing whatever the thing? Are you still doing that thing ideally, consistently, the exact same way that it has been working for you? If the answer is no, then go back to being consistent with it and see if it works. And if it starts working, fantastic, fucking keep doing it. But if what you're doing for that weight loss and you're still being consistent with it and you're still hitting it every single day and it stops working, that's where we go, cool, we need to change something. We need to fix this. We need to mix this up. We need to figure out what it is that's not going on. 99% of the time, the thing that's going on is metabolic adaptation, which means that you will adapt to the environment it is that you have around you or the stimulus that you provide to your body. For example, if you hang out with shitty people, you're more than likely going to be a shitty person. If you hang out with people that are, I'll use myself as the example because that way no feelings get hurt, except for mine. If I'm hanging out with people that just want to go out and party and just want to drink and just want to spend all their money on doing whatever the fuck it is, fantastic, living your life, doing whatever. If I hang out with that person every single day and they're my roommate and this and that and whatever, I'm going to most likely get influenced by that and not be as driven in my business. On the other end of the spectrum, if I hang out with people that are entrepreneurs, that are driven in their business, that are coaches, are in the industry, and they're just driven in terms of being the best versions of themselves that they can be and helping others in terms of that's what I want for my future, that's more than likely going to be the environment that I'm going to adapt to because I'm going to see everybody else's work ethic, how they talk to themselves, what they do, what are their practices, all that shit. And it works in a negative way as it does in a positive way, right? And that's why I pay people that I vibe with, like my business coach. I employed him first off, yes, to make more money. I think back in 2019, I think it was. I cannot remember. But I employed him back in whenever the fuck it was because it was, I'm stuck in my business and I'm just not enjoying it much anymore. That was the big reason why I hired a business coach, which was, at the time, I was making about $6,000-$7,000 a month just by myself, not really knowing what the fuck I'm doing. I was half online. I was fully in person, but I had an online aspect to it. I built all that myself over however much fucking time it was. And I was making about $7,000 a month, and I was like, right, well, I'm somewhat stuck. I feel stagnant. I feel like the vibe of my business is just, it's a job, right? It feels like I have to clock in, clock out, get my money, do this, do that. The passion had left me. And I hired him because his vibe was through the roof, and he was like, yep, we can do this. We're just having fun. Like, what are some things that you want to do in the business that are going to be fun, that you actually want to do? There was no fronting of, we have to be this ultimate professional, and when you film these videos or whatever, you need to be in a suit, or you can't swear, or you can't do this. There was no rules. It was just, you need to be you and have fun. And I was like, sweet, I like that. Even if I don't get the income or the financial gain from this that I expected from it when I did sign up, which was minimum 10K a month, which obviously that happened. If that doesn't happen, and this is how I talked myself into it, if that financial aspect of it doesn't happen, but I can find my passion again for business and have fun in doing that and turn this whole thing around on its head in terms of, I don't have to make a particular amount of money. I just have to enjoy what I'm doing. And if I get to wake up and do that and live that, fan-fucking-tastic. That's what I wanted to get back to anyway. And that's the same sort of mindset that I have for my clients, where I go, if you don't lose this weight in a particular amount of time, as long as you're having fun, enjoying yourself, moving, and the overall lifestyle feels a hell of a lot better, if you get that joy back that you had as a child, or whenever the fuck it was that you believe you were your happiest. Oh my God. I forgot to breathe during that whole time. Welcome back, Travis. If you get all of that intrinsic shit back, if you get the passion back, if you get that mojo back, as it were, then I feel like we've won, because the numbers, whether they are financial or whether they are on the scales, they will always be sort of leading indicators, or lagging indicators, I should say. God, now I'm questioning myself. Which is, if you do A, B, and C, that will equal X, Y, and Z. So if you are passionate and happy and caring about people and building a business that you like, or if you are enjoying the gym, if you like lifting heavy shit, if you like feeling powerful, if you enjoy having more cardiovascular fitness, if you can pick up your kid now with relative ease, if you can do whatever the fuck it is that you want to be doing in life from a physical aspect and not be burdened by, oh my God, my neck, my shoulder, my back, my pussy, my crack, my knee, whatever it is that could be going on in there, and you're just like, oh my God, all of that fucking hurts. If you find the joy and happiness in life, the weight loss will typically come. The number will typically come. That's why I fucking hate saying, I'll be happy when I make this much money. I'll be happy when I am this amount of weight. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I'm still trying to lose weight. If you are a regular to this podcast, you know that I've been trying to lose weight for the engagement party, which was, I wanted to get down to about 83 kilos. I got down to a whopping 86, which was 2 kilos in about 2 months. Which by my standards that I hold to myself, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that great. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, it was 2 kilos in 2 months. That's pretty good. I still fit into my suit. I still had a good time. You still can't tell if I have a pizza because I don't bloat or blow up or anything like that. So it's fucking fun. So that's what I want to be doing. But anywho, what got me from A to B, which was, I'm going to use myself again. What got me from A to B, which was from $0 to $7,000 a month, fantastic. If I repeated all of that stuff, I wasn't magically going to go from $7,000 a month to $14,000 a month. It just wasn't going to happen, because that got me to my capacity, which was $7,000 a month. We hit different capacities as we improve as people. My capacity for working when I was very depressed and just starting off in the PT industry, my capacity for working was how many hours are there in a day? That's what it was. Because I didn't want to be home alone with my thoughts. I didn't want to be thinking. I wanted to be all consumed by work. So my capacity was about 14, 16 hours a day. Probably 14 hours a day, I'm going to say, because it would take 2 hours for food and shit. general maintenance of said body, and everything else. But anyway, I think I was sleeping like 6-7 hours a night back then. But anyway, the capacity that I had for work on a roughly daily basis or on a business week was 14 hours a day. Now it is definitely not that. It's around about 10 hours because that's just what I have to do. And now with the new schedule coming in, it's about two 10-hour days as well as 2 5-hour days. That's my schedule on average. Or at least that is scheduled. Obviously, small business owners out there know that you never really stop working, which fucking sucks. But anyway, I wouldn't change anything in the world. My capacity what got me from A to B, which was 0 to 7,000, my capacity was at 7,000 because that's what my capacity was with the current knowledge and background and experience that I had. 7,000 was my capacity. Then I said, I don't like this. I want to change this. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to make more money. I want to find the passion back that I had for work way back when I was like, if I make $500 a week, fan-fucking-tastic, as long as I'm doing what I love. I wanted to get that essence back. And I did. And that increased my capacity to, let's just throw random numbers out there, 14,000 a month. Awesome. What got me to 14, 15,000 a month, I had to change some things to be able to increase that to 20,000 a month, and then to 25, and then to 30, and then to 35. And that, without going into all of the numbers that we had, what got me from point A to point B did not get me from B to C, did not get me from C to D. We had to continuously adapt. We had to continuously change the strategy. The goal always stayed the same, which was to enjoy business and have a profitable business. Those were always the purpose, and the big overarching purpose that I'm talking about was to be able to create a business that has the financial and I was about to say financial. Wow. The financial flexibility to be able to support me and Beth when we start a family. For me to be able to have the flexibility to take my child, whatever they end up being, to school and be there to pick them up and make lunches and just be a present dad, really. That's why I'm doing what I am in business and why I'm working so hard, right? So the purpose was always the same. That's always been the thing that's been driving me. But the strategy behind the purpose changed and it adapted. And that's what's most likely going to happen for you as well when you're on this weight loss and health journey. Is that what gets you from 100 kilos down to 90 kilos is going to be amazing. But then we're going to have to adapt a strategy and learn something different to go from 90 to 80. Then most likely we're going to have to learn to go from 80 to 70 or whatever fucking number it is that you want to get to, of finding a place that you feel happy with and learning to maintain that. And then learning the patience behind it of a body composition, of building muscle. Because building muscle is slow as fuck compared to losing weight. You can lose a kilo a week and be like, yeah, cool, this is working. But you cannot gain a kilo of muscle in a week. It's physically fucking impossible. And anyone that's like, yeah, I gained 3 kilos of pure muscle in 3 weeks. No, they fucking didn't. It is physically impossible to do that. There are a lot of studies that say this is how much you can increase your muscle by, even on the roids. There is an finite amount that you can gain muscle in a particular time. You can gain strength over however much time. Strength is not something that is finite, but there is a finite amount of muscle that you can put on. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to get across in this episode. What got you from A to B will most likely not get you from B to C. Your purpose can still remain the same. You being you can still remain the same. But the strategy and how you get to your purpose, or how you keep improving yourself on the way to your purpose, to be able to do that is going to require some upskilling, some personal development, some development in whatever other area it is that you believe that you need to be upskilled in. And yeah. So welcome back, Travis, with a fucking 39-minute podcast. Look at me fucking go. Love it. With this, before I sign off, we are looking for more podcast topics, guests that we can have on, collaborative ideas. Lindsay and myself are looking to do some podcasts together The time zone is going to be a bit of a bitch to be able to sync that up correctly. But if you have topics that you want both of us to be jumping in on, I would fucking love that. One thing that I do have in mind is that we are going to be doing a community Q&A once a month, which is we put up questions through the Instagram stories, not just once, but through the week and through the month. And then we pick out the best ones. And then we'll be like, Travis Murrells.97 says, I don't know why I use 97, but anyway, Travis Murrells.97 said, hey Trav, how do you lose weight while being in a calorie surplus? Well, listen here, Travis Murrells.97, you fucking can't. And then Lindsay will be like, oh my God, there's no need for that kind of language. And then it'll be a whole thing. But anyway, yes, we are looking for topics and comments. And one thing that I would like to do is that community Q&A. So if you would like to, get a shout out on the podcast and be like, hey, your username asked this question. And then we respond to you in this podcast version. And we might even stream it live on Instagram. Why the hell not? So we'll do that. So make sure that you're engaging on Instagram stories, because that's where we get most of our content ideas. Honestly, any support that you could throw our way in terms of likes or shares or comments or even reviewing this podcast. This podcast actually has, on Spotify, some really, really solid numbers in reviewing. So thank you all so much for doing that. We're up there with, we're getting there anyway. The 2 weeks off didn't help, but we are getting there on the Spotify rankings. We're not ranking in terms of like views and stuff, but in terms of the reviews that we are getting. We are starting to get up there with some well-known podcasts in terms of the amount of reviews that we have. So if this podcast helps you in any way, feel free to leave a review on wherever the shit it is that you are listening to. But otherwise, have the best week in the world. Stay tuned to Instagram, because that's where all of our well thought out value pieces go. Follow along. If you've got questions, let us know, because this podcast is ultimately for all of you that are listening. We don't get paid. We have no sponsorships. This is literally just out of the free time that we have to be able to say, hey, this is how we can help you. So if you do have questions, let us know, engage, comment, like, all that fun stuff. But otherwise, have the best time in the world, and I'll see you in the next one.